Yes, indeed. It's your boy Retro with you on tonight. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and what? Be glad in it, because it is He that has made us and not we ourselves. Look at here now. I just want you to know that I'm a grateful somebody. That doesn't mean that every day is a good day. That doesn't mean that every day goes the way I want it to go. But it's a good day, because this is the day that the Lord has made. Ariel, God bless you, brother. How you doing? Hope everything's going well with you and yours. Today was a beautiful day, and I, took the opportunity to get a few things done outdoors. It was just beautiful. Helped my son do some things earlier. McLord Trucking. You got to check us out whenever you need anything hauled in the North Carolina area. So again, we just had a opportunity to just get out there and enjoy the day. But today I want to talk to you about riding. Let's ride. Because the riding season. Well, I'm gonna be honest. For the real riders, there's no such thing as the end to the riding season. But I get it. The riding season is on us now. It's here. We got better weather and stuff like that. I wonder how many of you guys ride year round. I try to ride year round, and for the most part, I do. Of course, we're here in the Carolinas where we can do that. It's a little easier to do it because we have a little bit better weather. But we do have some days, we do have some weeks, some times where those temperatures they get real low. They get low. They get real low. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta prepare. You gotta be ready for it, and you gotta dress accordingly. And I want to say real quickly that you can apply that scenario to life. A little retro philosophy for you can add it to life. Okay. What do you mean by that? What I mean by that is when you have bad situations to occur or to rise or to, come upon you, whatever, it might be difficult. But if you brace for it, if you prepare for it, and I know it's kind of difficult because if it comes on you, how can you prepare for it? Well, you got to be also ready, and so you just got to deal with it accordingly, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so that you can weather the storms of life. Okay. So I want to talk tonight about riding. And there are some things that we've got to do in order to ride. Okay. What's that? Well, number one, you got to make sure your ride is ready. You can't have a big ride coming up and then all of a sudden you want to go and get all your fluids changed or I don't know, do a 5K service or whatever. You got to make sure you're up on those things so that when it's time to ride, you can just go. I usually try when I'm for the night, I usually try to make sure I got, enough gas. And in other words, I try not to park Ruby Red in the shed on E, because, who knows, something might come up and I have to boom, out real quick and go somewhere. So I don't want to have to be stopping to find a gas station to get gas because, again, first thing in the morning, later on in the evening, I may have to run somewhere and don't have time to stop by a gas station. So I try to make sure I put her in the shed, at least, not on E. You know what I mean? Because that's how life is. Sometimes I tell my kids this all the time. It's become a regular saying for me. Life happens and it happens fast, and though we can do everything within our power to try to be ready for life, sometimes we can't be ready, but if we have a mind to be ready, it's a little bit different. In other words, I may not have known this was coming, but I already had a few things set aside. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to be prepared. I'm trying to be proactive, if you will. So I don't know what you do when it comes to riding season, but usually we get people to bring their bikes in, and it's been parked all season, or at least all winter, or whatever. So they'll bring the bike in and get all their fluids changed and things like that. But check it out. There are some people who will winterize their bike. So in other words, they know their bike's going to be parked up for, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months, or whatever, for the for the winter. And so they'll bring it in preparation for the winter, and that's pretty important as well. That's pretty important as well. Ariel says life can be a bully at times. Yeah, life really can be a bully at times, and sometimes you've got to deal with life. Let me say it this way: when life tries to bully you, you got to deal with it like a bully, And what's that? You stand up to a bully. You stand up to a bully. Let's see. Jim Duell, God bless you, sir. He said, not mine, year round here. Yes, indeed. Year round. And I've rode in some pretty frigid temperatures, And but again, when it comes down to that, don't let it be some sun out. As long as I have some sunshine out, I don't really care how cold it is. I'm just gonna gear up and I'm gonna make it do what it do. I got heated gloves, I got a heated vest. I don't have heated pants. I think I'm going to invest in some this summer. This summer, because this summer it's going to be cheaper than trying to wait till the winter to buy it. And that's another thing. We've got to make things happen. How do I want to say it? In a way, in other words, don't wait until the winter, because then the heated gear is going to be expensive. So you get it in the summer in preparation for the winter. Why? Because it's coming. I mean, you know what's coming. And so when it comes to life, why is it that we seem to want to avoid things that are inevitable? Why is it that we want to put things off that we know we're going to have to deal with or face sooner or later? So instead of just waiting, boom, be ready for it, be prepared. And so that's what I'm going to do, Jim. I'm going to pick me up a pair this summer for the coming winter. You know what I mean? Because that heated gear is nice. It's nice when you out there and it's about 30 degrees, 20 degrees. And then you got to take in consideration, it's 28 degrees, 22 degrees. And then you're going down the road doing a good, 75, 80. So that's going to drop it down. I mean, even though it's 20 some degrees, 30 some degrees, man, you're going to be way down in with that wind chill factor. I had a chart actually. I don't know where it's at, but I had a chart that would do the math for you and let you know if you're going X amount of miles per hour and it's, whatever temperature, then, with the chill and all that stuff into consideration, it will give you exactly what it would feel like. And trust me, it's pretty brutal. But for me, as long as I can keep my feet and my hands warm, then I'm usually pretty good. And like I said, I got a pair of heated gloves so that I can ride year round if I choose to. And most of the time I do. I found out this whenever let's say for instance, it's a cold one coming up and I'm like, ooh, it's too cold today, I'm not going to ride. Then it's harder to get on the next time. You know what I'm saying? So it might be a little weird. And I know I'm a little strange too, but it's true. If I ride year round, as long as I don't stop, even though the temperatures get cold, I'm ready for it mentally and otherwise. So, I get up in the morning, I hop on the bike, go to work, do what I got to do. And it is what it is. It is what it is. But once you stop at anything, it's always harder, in my opinion, to get back in the saddle. I remember, let's see, it might have been 2008. I had a pretty bad motorcycle accident here in Mooresville on Mazeppa. No, it wasn't Mazeppa. What was that road? I forget the name of the road, but it was over there where NGK or whatever is over there by Best Sweets. And what's the name of that road? Is it Mazeppa Road? No, I don't think it's Mazeppa. But anyway, me and a friend, coworker Rodell, we were riding together, and it was my first time on that road, and we was moving pretty fast. I was on a Gixxer 750, and I was doing about a good 145, 150, something like that. And I remember. It is Mazeppa. Okay, so yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So Jim, I was on Mazeppa, and I was coming down that thing, man, and I was probably only in about third gear, and or maybe fourth. Yeah, that Gixxer would get up there quick, fast, in a hurry. And I looked down, and I was like, whoa, I better slow down. And just that quick to take my eyes off the road to look at the speedometer and look back, boom, there was that curve right there, pretty much right there in front of Best Sweets. And I said, oh, so now I'm in this curve and I'm trying to hold it. And I was holding it pretty good, and then I realized, I ain't gonna make this, because that curve got kind of tight on me. So I said, if I stay in this lean, I'm gonna wipe out on the pavement. So I straightened up and I hit the grass. I figured it'd be better to fall in the grass, to wipe out in the grass. And the back end of it just started fishtailing real bad, right? And of course, I'm on the clutch, no gas, and I didn't hit the brakes because, I was in the grass and it was, I was trying to, slow it down or whatever, let it slow down, whatever. And it straightened up on me, but it was a little too late because as I straightened up, it dropped down in the gully, boom, hit that drain. I was airborne. Hey, my mother-in-law's on the line tonight. Good evening, Mother Bale in the building. God bless you. God bless you. And so, man, I tell you, let's see here. John says, got to ride rain. Excuse me. Got to come ride. Oh yeah, and some of this Cali sunshine. Look at here. I was going to get to that, John. I was going to get to that. And so Cali is definitely on my list. I don't think I'm going to make it. I don't think it's going to happen this summer. I think it's going to be closer toward the fall, maybe the beginning of the winter. But Cali is on my list. So we will be in touch because I'm coming to see you, John. I'm coming to see you because California is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Last time we was out there, we spent about a little bit over a week, my wife and I, but we flew in. This time we're going to ride in. But so, hey, Shaquise, how you doing? Thank you for pressing play. But I'm coming down Mazeppa, lose it, hit the drain, boom, I'm airborne, right? And all I remember was I was on the phone. I remember hitting that drain, and then the last thing I remember was I'm saying I gotta go, I gotta call my wife. And so I hang up the phone and I started, I guess, dialing, I thought it was dialing my wife's phone, my wife's number. And then the phone rang back and it was her. And she was like, where you at? What's going on? So apparently when I got up from the accident, I called her, but I don't remember calling her the first time. I just remember telling her, I got to go. I got to call my wife. It was crazy, y'all. What's my point? My point is, they say when you go down, you got to get right back on it because the longer you wait, harder it's gonna be. So I was back on it. I think let's see, that happened. I don't know. I was probably back on in probably a few months or whatever. Probably a few months. The bike had to be repaired and all that stuff. But I was going way too fast. Moose, it is this is what I'm going to do. So my uncle lives in down there by the beach, Wilmington, right? He lives right there on the beach in Wilmington. And so every time I go down there to see him, we hit the beach and everything. And so 40 dead ends in Wilmington at the beach, right? And so last time I was down there, me and my wife, we were there, and I said, babe, one of these days I'm going to come right here to this spot, and then I'm going to turn around and take 40 all the way west. And Moose, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go see my uncle. I'm going to spend the night at my uncle's in Wilmington, and then I'll get up bright and early in the morning and just head west. 40 straight to Cali, I think, is exactly what I'm going to do. And then coming back, I'll take a different route, maybe, wider circle, whatever. I don't know. So that way I can collect as many of the 48 as I can out west at the eastern coast for the most part. Everything except for Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire. I got to get Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire, and I'll have the whole East Coast knocked out. And then I got to start moving west. So, John, that is my plan. I will be seeing you this year, late this year. No doubt. It will happen. It's going to happen. What do you guys got in mind? What do you guys got planned for this riding season? Being that for those of us on the East Coast where it's now starting to warm up and everything, I'm curious what rides do you guys have planned? What states you plan on crossing? Let's see here. We are all bombarding JJ. Okay, Ariel. So check it out. Y'all meet me here in the Carolinas, and then we'll just head west and we'll just bombard John's crib. How about that? Yeah, how about that? We'll pick up some ribs on the way, some hot dogs or whatever. We'll pick up something on the way. That way we, don't leave his refrigerator completely dry. But how about that? How about that? Y'all meet me here in the Carolinas, and then we'll make a beeline for the West Coast. That sounds like a plan. Let's see. He got to make soon for the UIC Nation. And then Moose says, yep, that's true. Been down twice and had to jump right back up. I ordered the next soon as I got out. Yeah, as soon as that part right there. And so the longer we wait to get up from a knockdown, now we're talking motorcycles, we're talking physically, literally going down. But let's apply this to life as well. Life knocked you down. How long you gonna stay down? The longer you stay down, the harder it is for you to rebuild your confidence. You're gonna be second guessing yourself. You just got to get back up. I mean, I know that relationship was bad, but just because you went through a bad relationship doesn't mean you don't have the opportunity to find your princess or your prince or whatever your situation might be, So all I'm simply trying to say, retro philosophy, it might not be everybody's philosophy, but retro philosophy, don't stay down long, bounce back, who was it? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. And sometimes we wobble and sometimes we really do fall down. But all I'm simply trying to say is get back up. Get back up. Some of y'all watching right now might be in a situation where you fell down or you were knocked down or you were pushed down or whatever may be. And you have remained in that position. And all I'm simply trying to say is it's time. It is time to get back up. Okay, it's time to get back up. Let's do it. In Jesus' name. Yeah, that's it. That's the key right there. I can't do it in my name because see, my righteousness is as filthy rags. My strength, gosh, it's limited. It's flawed. It's not even strength. But his strength is made perfect in my weakness. So in my weakest moments, I can be made strong. How? In him. That's why we often say it, in him we live, we move, and we have our being. Everything I've got and everything I've accomplished is not by my own strength or ability, but by his grace, his mercy, his love, his compassion, his long suffering. Come on, somebody. You got to understand. When I went down on Mazeppa Road, that was supposed to take me out. The enemy wanted to take me out, man. I mean, he wanted to take me out. See, when I look back at the situation now, it took me a while to go down that road it took me a while before I can go back down Mazeppa Road because it was so emotional, you know what I mean? Because I could have died, literally going down, probably, like I said, I looked down, it was about 150 or whatever. I eased off. By the time I wiped out, it was probably about 130, 135, somewhere around there, I would imagine. Nevertheless, that could have taken me plumb out of here, slap out of here. I remember the ambulance showing up, and my boy, he said, man, he said he said he had to get himself together before he can even turn back, because he said the way I hit the ground, he said he knew I was done. He thought I was gone for sure. And finally he gets back there, he's trying to get me to just chill out, sit down or whatever. And so the ambulance shows up, and they got me in the ambulance. And then I remember this little white Jeep pulled up, and I see this lady getting out, these two kids in the back seat looking out. This older lady was in the front seat. And this lady, she walks up to the ambulance and she gets in and she told me she was my wife. And apparently those two kids in the car were mine, and that old lady in the front was my mother. I didn't know who she was, man. I didn't know who she was. It probably later on that night was when my memory and stuff started coming back to me. And it was scary, man. And they're asking me all these questions, what year is it? Who's the president? This, that, and the other. And I was answering them all wrong. And finally it was like, just don't worry, just relax. And so it was a serious ordeal, but I got back up and I got back on, and Yeah, so life will come at us sometimes rough, man, but we gotta get back up. Ariel says sounds about right, and I think that's pertaining to what I was saying a little while ago. Um, yeah, we'll take up a collection. We'll take up a collection, and we're gonna get there. We're gonna burn up some 40, and we're gonna pull up in California and make it do what it do. Okay, Moose, good deal. Tennessee, Mississippi, your area, and New Jersey. Now, when you get ready to go to Tennessee, well, we're gonna hit Tennessee with you. I'm coming to Tennessee with you because when you go through Tennessee, you're gonna hit the Dragon, and that's a nice ride. It's a nice ride, man. So we'll definitely be hitting that up with you, man. I don't have Mississippi on my list, so Mississippi is also on my list, and that's close enough. Mississippi. Let's see. Alabama's gonna be about 4.5 hours from the Carolinas where I am, and I think to get on over to Mississippi, no. Alabama's gonna be about 6 hours. About 6 hours, and I think it's about another three from Alabama, at least Montgomery, to Mississippi, depending on what part. About another 3 hours, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm looking about like six, excuse me, about 9.5 hours from here, Mississippi. And then if I'm that close, I might as well scoot on over to Louisiana and get some gumbo. And that's close enough that I can do that pretty much any given weekend. I can hop on and smash those states right there. So yeah, so that's good. That's good. James, how you doing? AKA Grunt in the building. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I see you out there, Grunt. I see you getting your miles in. You're out there doing your thing, man. Where you got what you got planned for this upcoming season, brother? What are some of your goals? Where is it that you want to travel to on your twos? Let's see. Shaquise is on with us again. She says, like a baby who's learning how to walk. Now, Shaquise, I know you're talking about getting your motorcycle license, but I just want to know if you're gonna make it happen this summer. That's because First Lady is already on that thing and she's doing it. So I'm saying, where you at? Where you at? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see. Boom. A fallback set. Excuse me. A fallback setback is just a setup for a great comeback. Look at here. You are absolutely correct. A fallback / setback, whatever you want to call it, is just a setup for a great comeback. And it's almost like that bow, and you got to pull it back. But the pullback, come on, somebody, it's all about the thrust, and to get the arrow where it needs to get with power and with speed, and so yeah, we've had some fallbacks, we've had some setbacks, we've had all those things, but if we keep our mind right, if we keep our mind on God, then we will see that it will work together for our good. Okay, Pastor Aaron Hill Sr. is in the building. Let's show him some love on tonight. He says, fortified by him. Yeah. Notice that's the capital HIM. Yeah, fortified by him. Listen, God not only can do it for you, but real talk, he wants to do it for you. He wants to do it for you. Okay, Grunt, I see you looking forward to the Tail of the Dragon and Rhode Island. Great trip. If you're gonna hit up Rhode Island, you gotta stop by the Nartic. I mean to tell you, when we went up there to the Nartic, when I tell you, look here, we pretty much, let's see, we stopped in Jersey, stayed over there in Jersey on the way up, and then we took the rest of the way straight on up into Rhode Island, and we ate some good eating too. But if I do it again, I think I'm going to stay in Rhode Island because I look at here, because you're going to do some eating up there. If you stop by the Nordic, you're going to do some eating. If you know what I know, you're going to do some eating. And so, yeah. And I think I would have eaten and then the room, good night's sleep and slept off some of that food and then, made way on back. But if you do get a chance to go to Rhode Island, put it on your list to stop by the Nordic. We had a great time when we went up there. The Charlotte Knights, we went up there with a great time. Yes, the lobster tail. Yeah, that What? Got it. Yeah, got to get that lobster tail this summer. It was good, man. They had everything. I mean, not just lobster tail. They had all kind of seafood, steak, and what you call it, desserts. And I'm not really a dessert guy, but I did kind of hurt myself while I was there. Not really hurt myself, but I did. Okay, so yeah, those are some great plans. It looks like you guys have in the making for this upcoming riding season. Now, I wanna ask you this real quickly. Because number one, we want to say thank you and for pressing play and welcome you to the show, Retro Philosophy Biker Edition. And we're just talking today. Next week we've got Prez JJ, or JJ Prez. He will be with us. You can expect to see the flyer this week, and so we want to make sure you see that, and then join us next Monday at 8 p.m. It's going to be a very interesting show. I think it's going to be a show that is necessary, and I'm excited about it. Looking forward to it. So excited and so looking forward to it till I got my dates crossed and was thinking it was today. Because I was excited, and I can't wait for the show. It's gonna be some great conversation. So make sure you join on next week for that. Also, we want to remind you to run on over, if you have not already. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. We want you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, hit the notification bell so when we go live, you'll know, and you can just hop on with us. So make sure you do that. And if you want to be a blessing to the page, you can do so by going to your app, Cash App, and you can whatever the Lord lays on your heart or whatever you want to do. It's $ Retro Philosophy. We thank you for that in advance. But check this out. Are you ready to ride? Are you ready for the ride? Okay, because again, we are coming, for some of us. We've got some real riders who ride year round. But for those who don't ride year round, the question is, are you ready? Your bike has been in the garage for, I don't know, 3-4 months. And so there are some things that you got to do to the bike so that you can be ready to ride, not only to the bike, but to yourself as well. I mean, when was the last time you was on that thing? So don't just jump out there and head to California, but you might want to get a few little, weekend warrior rides in, just, get reacclimated to your machine or whatever. Not only that, but, let your body, reacclimate, if you will, so that you can be ready for those long rides if you're planning on doing any long rides. And I think that's one of the reasons. No, I think the reason is just because I just love the ride. I was going to say that's one of the reasons why I like to ride year round. So now I'll say, nah, but that ain't it. I just love the ride, man. I really do. It's just so peaceful when I'm on that thing, man. And sometimes I'll just turn the radio down and just let the motor and the exhaust be my music. And I think the thing I like about riding the most, one of the things is, sometimes I'll just turn down streets I've never been on. I was going, matter of fact, I was going to meet Pastor E and the rest of the nights for our monthly meeting yesterday. And so I knew where I was going, but I wanted to take a different route just because, I was trying to avoid some traffic or whatever. And I had an idea, if I went this direction, it would still get me in the vicinity of where I was going. And sure enough, it did. But it took me down some roads that I literally had never been down before. Beautiful ride, man. Beautiful ride, man. And that's what I love about riding. Sometimes I will leave the house and I will try to get lost. Yeah, I will try to get lost, turn down roads under the turn, see where it ends up. And it's just beautiful. And I think, let's go ahead and apply that to life. I think in life, sometimes we've got to be willing to travel the unbeaten path. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we should not always try to do what everybody else is doing, because you ain't everybody else, So sometimes, and you heard me say this before, sometimes we find ourselves in the middle of nowhere, but in the middle of nowhere, we find ourselves. And so you've got to be willing at some point or another to take the unbeaten path, the path less traveled. The path that the crowd doesn't take. And you'll be surprised what you find out about yourself. You'll be surprised what you find out you can do that you thought you couldn't do. And so you'll never know until you try. So are you ready for the ride? Whatever ride it is that you're planning for this season, make sure you ask yourself whether or not you are ready. Let's see. Wish I could ride year round, but Ohio won't let it happen for sure, for real, for real. So we are blessed here in the Carolinas because we have good weather, and we literally can ride year round. Will we get some rough weather in terms of cold? Yeah, we will. We will. And every now and then, Mother Nature drop a little bit of that white stuff on us. But the thing about the Carolinas is it don't stick around. It don't stick around. It might be here for a day, if that, unless we get something real bad. It might be here for about 2 days or whatever. But for the most part, man, we never get snow that keeps us in, other than the fact that they don't know how to shovel it and remove it properly. But other than that, man, yeah, I agree with you, Pastor Hill. We are blessed down here in the Carolinas. But when Ohio does allow for riding, when the weather is cooperating, you guys got some good riding areas up there too. When Pastor E and I came up there to see you guys, man, when we left out, man, we had a real nice ride. We had a real nice ride cutting through Ohio and everything. And so that's the thing about it, man. When you get out on your Iron Man, you get out on your twos, your little scoot, your whatever you want to call it. You get out on that thing, man, and just ride. Man, I tell you, this is God's country. It's nothing short of beautiful, man. It really ain't. It's really not. Now, I happen to I like a little highway riding, but I love a little country riding too, and especially you got a nice day where it's nice and, not too hot, not too cold. And you just, man, there's some country roads here in this area that's just beautiful, man. And again, those are some of the roads where, I try to get lost on because it's just beautiful. Okay, let's see. The Calculacans, huh? Don't understand. Don't understand snow. Or is that the Kakalakians? Okay, Kakalakians. Okay, no, they don't. They don't. They Jim. You know they don't. You know they don't. Now you from up north. I'm from up north, and I remember we would go to school. They wouldn't shut school down for no snow. And when I moved to the Carolinas, I never forget. They shut it down at the threat of snow, the possibility they could snow. They shut it down. I said, "You got to be kidding me." Yeah. And so they don't. I was downtown Mooresville, Jim. True story. It's probably it wasn't last year. Probably it was a few years ago, but nevertheless, I was downtown Mooresville. And you know how they were removing snow from the town building down there? Believe it or not, with snow blowers. Yeah. I said, wow, snowblower. Okay. Yeah. Snowblower. Yeah. Oh boy. Yes, sir. Let's see. Moose, I am really looking forward to it, man. Moose says, wait until you see the West Roads. It's awesome. And I seen some of the shots that you guys took, and Pastor E and First Lady, they went out there last year. They went out west, hit up what do you call it? The big rally out there. Gosh, I'm drawing blank here. Brain fart. Sturgis. They went out to Sturgis, and I was checking out some of their pictures and stuff. Beautiful country out there, man. Beautiful country. But I also understand that there are some things that you got to be prepared for, such as the wind and the all that different kind of stuff, and the nightlife. And when I say nightlife, I'm talking about bugs and animals and things like that. And then the span between gas stations, I hear you got to be real careful. See, I've never rode out west. Whether car. Well, I did drive out to Colorado, but nevertheless, I'm going to do my due diligence so that I will be ready for the ride. Now, as far as stamina or whatever you want to call it, I'm good. I think I'm good. I'll be all right. Because I can pound, I can get on my bike, and I could smash out. Shoot, I smash out about 12, 13 hours before I start, feeling fatigued. Let's see. Last time I went up there, Let's see. Well, I stopped and visit Moose on my way up on the other weekend, and that was by choice. I had to check on my homeboy, make sure he was good. And 162 miles between. Yeah, yeah. See that part right there, Moose. 162 miles between stations in the desert. And so yeah, yeah, yeah. That part right there. So you mess around and miss that gas station, and you're gonna be pushing a pretty heavy bike because you're going out west. You gotta pack your bike. I mean, so you're gonna have luggage and everything. Well, I shouldn't say luggage, but you're gonna have some gear and everything. So that's gonna add weight. But look here, I ain't trying to pass up a gas station once I hit that desert. Not at all. Not at all. But but I am looking forward to it. I wanna go see Mount Rushmore. I want to go see the Golden Gate Bridge. There's a lot of things that I want to see, petrified forest and Grand Canyon, all that stuff. So we'll see, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. So, guys, we appreciate you pressing play. Appreciate you sharing with us your plans for this riding season. If you don't mind, go ahead and drop in the comment sections. Your favorite spot or the most memorable spot or the most beautiful spot that you visit, whether it be wherever, whatever was memorable for you. If you would drop that in the comments, maybe even share with us, and let's talk about your first long trip. Okay. And with that said and done, while you're hitting the comment section, I wanna, we already talked about if you're ready to ride. And so, as Moose is explaining and sharing with us, is 162 miles between gas stations in the desert. So, even though physically I may be ready for the ride, I got to be ready for the ride mentally, okay, and intellectually, okay. And when I say intellectually, I got to take in consideration that once I hit the desert, 162 miles until the next gas station. You see what I'm saying? So, you got to plan it out. You know what I mean? And a brother shared with me several apps that he uses from his folder calling Getting Yonder, and so we appreciate him for that. And some pretty useful apps too. I used them when I was heading up north the other weekend, and that's what I like about this bike community. People are willing to share their experience, their knowledge, their wisdom, and they will even share where and why you need to be cautious about things. And so that is awesome. And when people are willing to share that stuff, you got to be willing to listen. I don't know everything. I'll be quick to say I don't know everything, and we got to understand that we don't know everything. So when someone that has done something that you haven't done, opens up to share something with you, dude, listen, listen. Your name might not be Linda, but listen, Linda. Moose, I saw a video just the other day. A guy was out there on the salt flats, and I said, wow. That was my first time seeing it. It was on Facebook. And so you hit those flats up, huh? Salt flats was so different. You will never see something like that at another place. And so when I saw that, that's what I said. I said, man, I need to put that on the list as well. So I know it's out west, but where was it at, Moose? Was it in California, Arizona? Where was it at? Because the guy didn't say exactly where it was located. So share that with us, Moose, if you don't mind. And again, the telephone number is 980-222-4492. You guys are more than welcome to call in and we can talk about it, your favorite trip and maybe some of your plans. Somebody else who's watching may be encouraged or inspired and say, yeah, I think I'll do that as well. Maybe even be able to share some knowledge as Moose and some others are doing here on tonight. So Kent, he's watching with us. God bless you, Kent. I hope all is well with you and the wife and the kids and the grands and the business and everything. But Kent says he rode to Tennessee. What part of Tennessee was it that you rode to, Kent? Tennessee is a nice state to ride as well, man. Me and the wife, we've been there a few times on the bike, and it's some nice country riding out there, man. You mess around to get up in those hills, though, man. We were out there. Where were we at? I'm trying to think. We were in I know it's like Pigeon Forge or somewhere in one of those areas. We went up to a little resort and stayed up there for a couple of days. And so we're out exploring, right? And And so me being me, I wanted to take a different route. You know, I didn't want to listen to the GPS. I just wanted to, I told you I like to get lost and just figure it out. You know, it's just, you know, and so the wife's like, no, I don't go that way. Don't go that way. I was like, you know, so she didn't want to go that way. She was on the back. And so I did. I really wanted to go that way. But she's like, don't go that way. So, all right. So we followed the GPS, you know, and man, look ahead. We followed the GPS, but where the GPS took us, I know she was like, man, we should have just went your way, because the GPS had us in Tennessee in some back roads. You know, you gotta watch out with that GPS because it'll mess you up sometimes. And so it had us on this back road, man, and then it got sandy and gravel, and then it was straight up, and dude, it tried to shortcut us back to where we were going, you know. I didn't want a shortcut. I wanted the long way, but it took us through a shortcut. I didn't know it was going to take us through a shortcut. Dude, I think that little ride to get us back to where we were going was worse than the tail of the dragon. Yeah, I rode the tail of the dragon a few times, but in Tennessee where it took us, dude, man, it was a nail biter. It was a nail biter indeed. God almighty, I'll never forget that little portion of ride. Let's see here. Joseph, how you doing? Mr. Chisholm is in the building. Longest ride for me was Detroit to Buffalo, New York. You know, I haven't gone to Buffalo on the bike, and that would be nice. Maybe hit up the Niagara Falls, and I don't know about the border and everything, but I guess once they open it back up, it would be nice to dip on over to Canada while you're so close. But so I can imagine that being a nice ride. Buffalo, yeah, I could definitely see that. I haven't even been to Detroit at all, period. So I'll definitely have to get up that way as well. Brother Hill, Pastor Hill in the building. And for those of you who don't know, Aaron Hill is also the vice president of the Ohio chapter, Kingdom Knights, the Kingdom Knights Ohio chapter. He is the VP. And so top of the evening to you, brother. Longest ride was the Iron Butt last year from Ohio to South Carolina and back in 22 hours. That was a good ride, man. It was a good ride, man. So we had a good time. We had a nice group of us. It was because it was a Charlotte chapter and the Ohio chapter. We all got together. So the Carolina Knights, the North Carolina Knights, the Charlotte Knights, I should say, we left Charlotte. I think we left probably. It was probably about like 4:00 in the morning, about 4:30 in the morning. We left here heading up to Ohio, and it was a good ride. It rained the whole way up. And by the time we got to West Virginia, it had rained so bad that I was literally getting wet even through my rain suit, you know. And but what you gonna do, right? We out here. So we just pressed through and made it do what it do. And so we got to Ohio and got rested up that night, and early that morning. Yeah, we met up at the gas station, and man, look here. Aaron said, man, y'all blessed us. Look at here, man, y'all blessed us. You know, it was a two-way thing, man. It was good to make that ride with you guys, man. And man, I really enjoyed it. By the time when we came down out of Ohio, coming down through West Virginia, and all that stuff, we got rain. But by the time we got to North Carolina, the rain had eased up. And it worked out just right because we cut through 77, which is my neck of the woods. So I called my son. I said, hey, bring me some boots. We're going to stop at this gas station for some gas. I said, bring my boots, because my joints were soaking wet. So he brought me some fresh boots, and I was good after that, man, you know. And we got a little sunshine, and we made it on down to South Carolina, stopped at the Harley Davidson store down there. Brothers was buying rain suits and everything, helmets. But man, I tell you, it was a good ride, and one that will go down in the books. Definitely. And Utah. Okay, so it's in Utah. So the Salt Lake, not the Salt Flats, is in Utah. Okay, cool. I'm gonna definitely look that up and do a little bit of research, and because Utah is definitely gonna have to, go on the list. Let's see. Okay, Kent said that he took the back roads to Hendersonville. Okay. to Gatlinburg. Nice. I've yet to take back roads from anywhere to anywhere, and especially long distance. Tried to do it a couple times. Planned on doing it a couple times, and rode back roads for a good portion, and then either it started getting dark, or whatever. And I don't like being on back roads when it get dark like that. So usually what happened, I end up, hitting some interstate once it starts getting dark, and just, boogie on up out of there, because, cutting through back roads in small towns, dude, I mean, it's a crazy world we live in. And so again, are you ready for the ride? You got to keep stuff like that in mind too. You got to be aware of where you are. And if you don't know them roads, them roads, them areas, then, you got to keep your head on the swivel. Keep your head on the swivel. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But took the back roads through Hendersonville to Gatlinburg, and rode the Dragon. That was, I can imagine that being a nice ride. I guess if you get up early enough, you can get to your destination in time. So that's what's up. That's what's up. Ken says, I love them back roads in day. Yeah, in daylight. Yeah, that part. Yeah, that part. But also, not only is it a good ride, but sometimes you'd be surprised what you will come across, and what kind of finds you might even find. Because I don't know about you, but I like to hit up an antique store, or Goodwill, or and so sometimes I come through some of them back roads, or coming through these small towns, whatever. I see a little store like that. I like to stop and look around. As a matter of fact, on my way to see Moose, I stopped at a nice little antique store right before I got to that bridge on that back road to get to your house, Moose. And it was a nice little shop. I don't remember the town, but it was not too long before I got to your place, Moose. So that's that. And again, a lot of times that's some good riding. So are you ready for the ride? Wherever it is that you're riding, are you ready? Is your bike ready? Last thing you want is to be out on them back roads and tire blowout. And I know, you can't really, tell when something like that is going to happen. But if you look at your back tire and that thing slick as, as a baby's bottom, you ain't ready for that ride. You're not ready for that ride. And trust me, come see me over at Tilley's Harley Davidson here in Statesville, North Carolina. If that tire is slick, we're running some specials right now on a real nice tire. It's a Dunlop Elite. Okay. It's a new tire that we started running not too long ago. A real nice tire, real talk. And so we're running a special on those tires. So this is your life you're talking about. You see what I'm saying? And so you want to make sure you got some grip and you got some tires, because you say, well, I got plenty of grip, but check it out. Is it dry rotted? It's been parked for the whole winter. And last thing you want is to be out there on a tire that has, I should say, expired or whatever. Not really. What you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because this is your life. You don't want to gamble with your life. Your life, tire might run you after taxes. I don't know, a couple $100, $300, whatever installed. Dude, your life is worth way more than that. So you don't want to be riding around here like that. And like I said, you cutting through some small town or some back roads, and and your tire goes because you was trying to get an extra 200 miles out of time. It ain't worth it, bro. It ain't worth it. Make sure you're ready, and make sure your bike is ready as well. Oh, snap. Not only did he do it, but he did it on a booster. Okay, my hat goes off to you, Ken. My hat goes off to you. When I was riding sport bikes, I think the furthest I did on a sport bike, and it was a Yamaha 1000, and that was from Springfield, Massachusetts to New Haven, Connecticut. I was on my way to New York, is where I was going, but it got too cold. Again, it was Massachusetts, and it was probably about, I think it was like October, somewhere in that area. So up north in October, it could kind of, I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway, I made it as far as New Haven. I think it was New Haven, and then I turned back. So my hat goes off to you, man, on a Busa. Let's see here. Got caught in the mountains one time in the dark, never again. Because you up there in the mountains and them curves, and it's, dude, it can be sketchy. It can be real sketchy. And not only do you have to contend with the curves and the unfamiliar roads, but then you got to worry about animals coming out at you and stuff like that. Let's see. My wife and I, we went up to last time we went to Tennessee. I had the Street Glide at the time, and we rode that up there. Rode good. We had a good ride going up. But we left North Carolina. I think I might have worked that day or something, and then after work we headed out, and I think that's what it was. So we got to Tennessee, but it got dark on us, and that was, dude, it was kind of intense because I'm riding. I got to watch for the road when the curve's coming up, but I'm also watching the woods. Just in case something runs out, because stuff like that will happen, whether it be a deer or a possum or a squirrel or whatever. Them things mess around and run out there on you, man, and it ain't nice. It ain't nice. Let's see. John says, when you come to Cali, we got to do a ride up the coast and see all of the Lord's glory. Look at here, brother. Absolutely. Where I'm coming, and wherever you say we riding to. Yeah, because you know the area. But I would love to ride that coast. And I do have some family out there. I got some family in LA. I've got some family in where's Darnell? Darnell is in San Francisco. And I've got a sister out there as well in LA too. But I'm definitely looking forward to the Cali stretch. And so we'll be talking about that. I got to get my my not my SIM card, but my SD card. I got to stock up on some SD cards because I want to be able to just throw that in the GoPro and just collect some footage, man. And probably take forever to edit everything, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna get the footage and make it do what it do. So when that does come up, we'll take this show on the road. We'll go mobile, and actually is probably won't even wait till the Cali trip. We'll probably do something like that real soon because the good weather is upon us and the days are longer. So my next trip is going to be Louisiana. I got to go get a bowl of gumbo. If it's nothing but a bowl of gumbo and turn around, I'm gonna make it do that. And of course, stop and we'll run through Atlanta, hit up Montgomery, Alabama, scoot on over to Mississippi, and then drop off in Louisiana. And might be advantageous and scoot on over to Texas for a quick minute. We'll just see. I'm just thinking out loud, but I know I'm definitely going to run down to Louisiana in the next couple months or so. Let's see. So there's that. So then let's talk about this real quick. And then I guess we can get ready to get out of here. It's been a long day for me. Town pounders versus ground pounders. Yeah. Town pounders versus ground. Now I ain't making fun of nobody. If you got twos and you ride, then you do your thing. But I was a town pounder on my sport bike. I didn't really go anywhere out of town on it, maybe the neighboring city or whatever. But it was pretty much around town. But I believe if you purchase a cruiser, I think you should cruise it. I think, I think if you well, I better speak for myself. I can't speak for anybody else. But you spending thousands of dollars on this motorcycle, I'm gonna get my money out of that thing. That's another reason why I ride year round. I'm getting my money out of it. Let's see. Kent says my plan is to ride to Maryland one time to the Bike Blessing. Well, Kent, you can do it this May 1st. It's not going to be like it normally is because of the whole COVID thing and stuff like that. But right now it's going to be outside in the parking lot at the sanctuary. So you can make this trip. You can meet us up here in the Carolinas and we can all ride on up there, man. It'll be a nice ride, man. I'm looking forward to it. Excited about it. And so you'll see all the flyers and stuff on Facebook. You'll see it here on Retro Philosophy page and on my personal page. And I know Moose got it on his page and Hustleman has it on his page. Pastor E has it on his page. So the information is out there, brother, and you are more than welcome to ride on up for that Bike Blessing. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a blessing. Let's see here. Pastor Logic is in the building. God bless you, sir. Cruiser or touring? Okay, yeah, cruiser or touring. So either one. I mean, if you got well, I guess there's a difference. You know, you got your cruiser and you got your touring. But look at here, man. I'm trying to get some states. I'm trying to get some Yonder. Let's talk about Yonder real quick. What is Yonder to you? What's y'all's definition of Yonder? I know some say it's X amount of miles. Some say this, and then while we're talking about Yonder, ground pounders versus town pounders. What is a ground pounder? I know we got some OGs on here. What's your definition of a ground pounder? Now, if you, my opinion is you can get some Yonder, but just because you got some Yonder doesn't make you a ground pounder. That's my opinion, and I could be wrong. So if I got any OGs on here, please go ahead and feel free to correct me. Let's see. John says touring. Let's put some miles on it. Yeah, let's put some miles on it. Let's put some miles on it. And so you got some people. Let's say my V. Okay. I see you, Doc. I see. He says my V-Rod is a cruiser, and I took it all the way. Good Lord, you took a V-Rod to Maine. My hat's off to you, Doc. My hat's off to you. Hats off to you, man. A V-Rod all the way to from Texas, dude. That's because a V-Rod, in my opinion, it is a cruiser, but man, it's pretty much like a sport bike, though. I mean, the positioning, you know what I'm saying? And so that's a serious ride, Pastor Turner. Serious ride on a V-Rod. However, when I was at the Salisbury location, right when they were getting ready, this was year before last, they were getting ready for the Cal Petty ride, the Petty ride, Texas to Key West to Maine and back. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Later for my other thought. Doc, 980-222-4492. If you're available, give me a call. 980-222-4492. From Texas to Key West to Maine and back on a dude. There's so many questions right now. There's so many questions right now. So yeah. If you are available, Logic 980-222-4492. I'd love to hear a little bit about that ride, on a V-Rod, But I saw a V-Rod. The dude was going on the Cal Petty ride. I think that's what they call it, the Cal Petty ride, wasn't it? Ain't that right? And he had a V-Rod, but the V-Rod literally had a road glide fairing on it and saddlebags. It was the ugliest bike I ever seen. I mean, a V-Rod with let's see. It was a V-Rod with a road glide fairing and saddlebags. I mean, and he took the Cal Petty ride, but yeah, it was, and he was from Connecticut. The guy was from Connecticut. They shipped a bike to did they ship it? Yeah, I think they shipped it. They shipped it from Connecticut, and ugliest bike I ever want to see. Now I like the V-Rods, especially you slap that wide tire on the back. Oh yeah, now you really going down my alley now, because that's a nice looking bike and a real fast bike too. But man, Logic, that's some real talk right there, from Texas to Key West to Maine and back on a V-Rod. Let's see here. All right, y'all, let's talk to Logic for a quick minute. Logic, that's you, dog? Let's see here. Are you there?
I'm here.
God bless you, sir. God bless you. So this is Logic, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you hopped on your V-Rod.
Yep.
And left Texas to Key West. How was that ride from Texas to Key West? How long did that take you?
Well, first, let me add something to it. I have my wife on the back.
Oh, my goodness. So not only are you a G, but she a G. Yo. So the wifey was on the back.
Yes, sir.
So
yes,
did
sir.
you? So let's talk about your bike first of all. So just a stock V-Rod.
V-Rod Muscle. Yes.
Okay. So did you have saddlebags or waiting for lunch and all that stuff?
luggage. I had a big old bag strapped to the back.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah. But y'all thugged it out though.
Yes. We had somebody roll with us.
Uh-huh.
And when the bag, we would take the bag off my bike and put it on her bike.
Okay.
And then that's how we rolled.
Okay. Now, was it more uncomfortable for the wife than it was for you, or was it about equal between the two of you in terms of being uncomfortable?
I think it was more uncomfortable for me.
Okay.
She said she felt great. It was more uncomfortable for me because she kept falling asleep and hit me in the back.
Yeah, I know how that goes. Yes, Lord. Sir. Yes, Lord. So what did you do were you prepared for the trip? Did you, or did you, I mean, what was the longest you had been on the V-Rod prior to that ride?
My first trip on the V-Rod was probably after I bought it was to the Roundup in South Carolina.
Okay, so that's a good little length right there, good ride right there on that thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the next year I rode to the Ocean City event.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third year is when we did the whole East Coast.
And you did the whole East Coast on the V-Rod too?
On the V-Rod, yes.
Dude, I got my respect for you just went up, dog. I'm just being honest with you. Wow.
We had a lot of people. We had a lot of people telling me. I think Hustleman was one of the ones that told me that by the time you get home,
yeah,
after your wife rolled on this V-Rod, you could be buying you another bike.
Yeah. And that's what happened, huh?
And that's what happened.
Yeah. Wow. So,
yes,
so when you on the V-Rod, that was your first trip to Key West?
Yes.
Okay. What were some of the obstacles that you had to, struggle through or fight through other than the, the position and stuff on the bike?
Well, actually, like when I tell people about it, when they say, well, man, I need to do it. I said, well, only thing I can do is tell you about my failures. I really was new to riding, and it was an experience. I never rode at night before. It rained and it was cold, so it was a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
So I just thank the Lord that we made it through.
Yeah, the Lord was on your side. Jim Duo, he's watching with us tonight. He said, "Holy moly!"
Yes,
he said, "Logic, and you stayed married after that trip." Wow, man. Yeah, that's nice though, man.
We did 5,034 miles.
Wow. On the trip when you went from Texas to Key West to Maine and back. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's some serious.
When you were talking earlier about the roads, like going through the mountains of Vermont, it was real cold, rainy, curvy, foggy, and yeah.
Now you still have that V-Rod, don't you?
Oh yes, I'm not getting rid of my.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. Wow, that's some serious riding, man. That's some serious riding right there. Moose says you are man among men, and he had a feeling that was true at first contact. Yeah.
Yeah, Moose, my man.
Yeah, he is, man. Good people for real, man. So what's the furthest you've gone? Because you came back after you did the whole East Coast. You got your is that when you got the Road Glide you're riding now, or was there one before that one?
No, that was it. I did all of the East Coast, and then after the Road Glide, when we got the Road Glide, we went up and did all the Midwest. Yeah,
now you was really ready then. You had it in you, but now you had the comfort to go along with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that Road Glide is where it's at though, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I started on that Street Glide and it was nice, but I do think it's a different with that fixed fairing. I ain't gonna lie, man. I think it makes a difference.
Oh yeah, I love it. I enjoy it.
Yeah. What was your most memorable trip?
Wow. I think it was recently is going to Sturgis.
Okay.
Going through South Dakota and North Dakota, but before that, is when me and the wifey did the Midwest, coming back from Indiana on our way to Tennessee, going through those back roads.
Okay.
And that was very. I thought I was lost, but we stayed on the road and made it through.
Now, when you get ready for your trips, how do you map it out? Are you just listening to your GPS, or are you kind of like pre-mapping it out and doing a little bit of both?
Well, I overdo it. A lot of people say I overdo it, but I'll map it out. I'll look for what possible stops I have I'm going to make and everything. But, you know, after riding with somebody like Pastor T, he, you know, laughed at me about stopping too soon. So
yeah.
I learned how to stretch it a little bit more. So
look here, if you're gonna ride with Pastor E, you're gonna get acquainted with your gaslight. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yes,
Yeah.
I learned that.
Yeah. He gonna make sure you're a man of faith.
I learned that.
Yes, sir.
I definitely have learned that. One thing I've learned about traveling distance when we still on V-Rod is when you get tired, stop.
Yeah.
And I don't plan. You know, I lost money by planning ahead, scheduling hotel stops, thinking that you can make it to that new stop. So the body, you need to pull over.
Yeah.
Those are lessons learned out there on the road.
Definitely. So what's next for you, Logic? What's the next trip that you? Let me ask you this: what's that I gotta make trip that you want to do?
April 24th, I'm coming.
April 24th.
Yeah, I'm in North Carolina.
Oh, okay. So, but you've been here before.
Oh yeah. Well, we got to finish. I got to finish the my West Coast.
Okay.
My West Coast trip, and I want to get up to Alaska.
Yeah.
And then I'll have my 48 states. Well, you know, lower 48, and then go to Alaska, get the 49th one.
Okay. Well, we looking forward to you when you come up this way, man. We're definitely looking forward to you, man. You gonna be coming alone or?
No, I'm gonna bring my partner with me. He's riding with me.
Nice.
Hopefully I can get more than one come with me.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. I'm gonna be coming down your way. I don't know when, but Texas is definitely on my list. A good friend of mine, he hit me up the other day, and he just had his first son. So he's in. I think he's in Houston or Dallas. I don't remember which one. I always get him confused which one he's in.
Okay.
But I'll definitely let you know if I get ready to make that trip. It'll probably be a turn and burn, you know, maybe a overnight thing or whatever. Not gonna be too long.
Let me know. Let me know when you're going to Louisiana too. You're going to New Orleans or something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll definitely let you know. Me and Pastor E, we kind of been talking about it, here and there. We haven't really put any dates or really definite plans, but it's one of those things where real soon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to
on something that you got on your screen there?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. Pound pounder versus ground pounder. I said this a while back when we was on Facebook discussing this before.
Okay.
And it's just my 2 cents. I said a ground pounder is a label you let other people give to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I see and as I learn, once you start labeling yourself as a ground pounder, then you meet a real ground pounder and you realize you ain't doing much.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my little 2 cents on that.
So for you to put that label on somebody, what would they have to do? Because what determines it, because is it just the amount of miles? Is it the amount of times they do the amount of miles? Or because if somebody just hits, a iron butt and they ain't did but one, I mean, you can't really call, they're not a ground pounder.
Well, see, it's different definitions by who you speak to.
Okay.
So if you move up the level in your frequency of being on the open highway, back roads, and going long distance,
mm-hmm.
different people will bring you up to different levels.
Okay.
So
okay.
If I did an iron butt, I did 1,000 miles, then I did 1,500, then I did 48 states in 10 days. And I did those consecutively, and you don't see me riding around the city as much. People start labeling you as a ground pounder.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a second level to that as well. Then you got people that do 48 states twice in 1 year.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. That's some serious riding.
That level.
Right. So what would you? And I don't know I just just fooling around here. But a town pounder. What would you call a town pounder?
I never heard of that term.
Yeah. It's no real term. It's no real term.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's no real term.
I respect everybody. Like I said, I've only been riding for 6 years. I respect everybody's riding level.
Mm-hmm.
I've met people that say they're not interested in riding across country. They're real comfortable with riding around their city, riding around their their local communities. They're real comfortable with that. So you can't really put that person down,
right,
or even label them.
Yeah, that's real talk. That's real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
but yeah, man.
So does the wife ride?
No, she rides on the back with me.
Okay. Yeah, that's what's up.
She's comfortable. She's comfortable on the back.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. My wife, she's trying to ride, but she says when it comes to long distance, she's just gonna get on the back, and I'm good with that. I like when she's back there. It's just when she ain't back there, it just feels different. I'm so used to her back there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Right. So we get out there and we just like you were saying earlier, there's been so many times where I hear this big clunk on the back of my helmet. I'm like, girl, if you don't wake up back there, bumping into my helmet like that.
I thought Lady T was going to fall off that V-Rod about 100 times.
Man, good Lord.
Because think about it, I didn't have no backrest on that thing.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's...
The backrest people see on it now, I put that on after that ride.
Wow. Yeah. That's some real riding right there, man. Yeah, that's some real riding.
Like I said, if I had to do it again, I'll probably do it again, but wouldn't do it that way.
Right.
Because like I said, I took too many chances trying to get the first iron butt.
Okay.
Literally, it took us 24 complete hours to get that first 1,000 miles, and still had 4 more hours to go before we get to our first hotel stop.
Wow.
And I tell anyone now that is extremely dangerous. The Lord was definitely looking after us.
Yeah.
Because we was on the road 28 hours straight.
Wow. Yeah, that's a long time to be on the road, especially on a bike.
Yeah. And I'm not afraid to say it. I was inexperienced to do that. So I had my wife's life in my hands, and our partner that was riding with us had her life in our hands. So I definitely wouldn't do it like that again.
Well, you know what? I mean, we live and we learn. And I think that,
yes,
first of all, I commend you because, some people be like, they won't admit to something that they did that they could have done better. So, I always compliment a man or commend a man or a woman for that matter who can learn from previous mistakes or choices that weren't the best choices. And then on top of that, we can then share that knowledge and wisdom with someone else who was in the position that we were once in. You know what I mean? So,
yes.
So that's what's up, man. I'm glad God preserved you and kept you guys, and you've got the stories to tell.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate you calling in, sharing your story with us tonight, man. We're gonna have to get you back on the show on camera, later on in the future, and go in depth and talk about some more stuff, man. So if you don't mind, I'll be in touch with you, and we'll see if we can make that happen.
All right, that'd be great, man.
All right, man. Thanks for pressing play, man.
All right, blessing on you.
All right, you too. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Logic all the way from Texas, and that, brothers and sisters, is an awesome story. That man went from Texas to Key West to Maine and back on a V-Rod. Then went and did the whole East Coast. And so my hat goes off to him for real talk. Yeah, that's a riding brother right there. That's a riding brother right there. Let's see here. Nick says, man, I don't think we would have made it with a couple of blessings, Pastor E and Brother Retro. Nah, bro, you guys pounded that night, man. Y'all rode and y'all rode good, man. Y'all rode and y'all rode good that night. And I was just glad to be in the mix. So yeah, y'all rode real good, and I'm excited for what God is doing through you guys up that way, man. And that's the thing about it. We were riding that night, man, and I ain't trying to be deep or nothing like that, but I am a man of God, and he was just downloading so much and just showing me so much. And as we were making our way back up to Ohio, it got dark on us, so we was riding through the night, and it got kind of late. We got back. I think by the time we got back, let's see, we left. I think by the time we got back, it had to be about maybe midnight or somewhere in that area, something like that. I don't remember exactly what time it was, but it was an awesome ride, man. And God was just showing me so much on that ride. And when I'm on my bike and when I'm riding, a lot of times that's when God, he'll just speak to me and show me things. And sometimes things will just be made clear to me. It's like, wow, there it is right there. I can see it now, because I'm just in a peaceful place, because I just, in another world almost. I cannot drive a car as long as I can ride. How do you all feel about aging and excuse me, about aging and long rider? Well, Moose, I feel the same way, man. I could ride longer on my bike than I could in the car. In the car, I'm quicker to get sleepy, quicker to get uncomfortable even, on my bike. Let's see. I think when I'm riding, I'm trying to think what I think with this road glide I got now, my bars are not as high as they were on my street glide. And so when I was headed up north, I got a little bit up here, a little tense up here. And I got to keep reminding myself to just kind of, loosen up or whatever. But other than that, man, when I'm on my bike, I'm pretty comfortable. I, slap my feet up on the highway bars every now and then. But I can agree. I can agree with you on that, Moose. I can ride longer on a bike than I can in a car. I think I understand your question correctly. If not, you can hit that telephone number as well, Moose. Any of you guys, if you want to call in, you're more than welcome to. We're gonna be here for a little bit longer. Then we're gonna maybe another just a few more minutes, and then we'll get on out of here. But yeah, so you got to make sure you're ready for the ride. You got to make sure your bike is ready for the ride. And when I say you're ready for the ride, you got to be ready for it physically. You got to be ready for it mentally, and all of that stuff. Because ain't nothing like being on a trip and you're just not mentally there. You just, oh man, it'll make for a long trip. It'll make for a long trip. But when you're mentally ready for the trip, for me, it makes it go by quick, man. Left. I worked 8 hours that day. Got off at 5 o'clock that Saturday evening. At the time, I was working at the Salisbury Harley Davidson and Tilly's Harley Davidson in Salisbury. Got out of work 5 o'clock p.m. By 5:15, I was on 85 headed north, and smashed it out. I got tired once I got up to the Jersey Turnpike, hit New Jersey, and that's when I started getting a little tired. Plus, it started getting cold because it was October when I made that trip. That was the other October. And when you get cold, ain't much you can do for it, And so I stopped off and got me a little rest, and then knocked out the rest of the few hours and get on into Massachusetts. But my point is, I was mentally ready for the trip, even though I had worked 8 hours. Mentally I was ready for the trip, and boom, we just, it is what it is. So I try to make sure I'm not only, because for me, it's kind of crazy, but it never fails. Whenever I'm going on a long trip, for whatever reason, the night before, it's not that I can't get sleep. I just don't get into bed early enough. Once I get to bed, I'm gone. But it seems like it's always, whether it's packing or getting this ready. And I'm kind of a procrastinator. Okay, I said it. Y'all pray for me. I am. Yeah, it seems like I can never get into bed quick enough or soon enough. Certainly not as soon as I should anyway. But I usually be mentally ready for the ride, and so it makes for a better ride. So that's that, y'all. That's all I got for tonight. I think I'm gonna go ahead and let it loose. And so whether you are a town pounder or a ground pounder, just keep on pounding. Just keep on riding your iron. Whatever it is that you ride, just keep on riding that thing. And as Logic was saying, which makes sense. I could see that, for some people, they ain't about the yonder life. That's not what they got their motorcycle for. They got their bike to just ride it whenever they feel like it, and to each his own. But just keep on riding and be safe out there. People are on these cell phones, man, and it's just, man, it's kind of scary because it seems like every car you pass when you're on your bike, you look over there and they're just in that phone. So you got to be careful and watch out for everybody. So yeah, so be careful. Riding season is here, and there's probably gonna be a whole lot more bikes out there. So folks, be very, very careful. Let's see. Nick says town pounder, ground pounder. Bike matters. Some bikes are not as equipped as others. That is true. Some are not as equipped as others. And but whatever you're doing, whether you're crossing state lines or whether you're getting some serious yonder, make it do what it do. Enjoy it. It's your bike. And you ride it the way you ride it. I'm going to ride mine the way I ride mine, and I ain't going to bother you, and hopefully you won't bother me. It's your boy Retro with a little Retro Philosophy Biker Edition. Make sure you join us next week, Monday at 8 p.m. We will have Prez JJ with us all the way from the West Coast. And so you saw him. He was on here tonight, and he made a few comments and everything. So he will be with us on next week, Monday. There'll be a flyer. We'll get that flyer out here soon. And hey, Jim, you are more than welcome. You are more than welcome. We'll see you later on in the week. Absolutely. You know where to catch me. And yeah. Over there at Tilly's. And those of you who might be watching from the North Carolina area, or maybe you're not even from the North Carolina area, but you might be passing through. I want to remind you that Tilly's Harley Davidson here in Statesville, our doors are open to you. You might want to stop in, get that service done, because sometimes you start out on your journey, and by the time you get to a certain place, it might be time for that oil change or whatever. So you can stop on in and check us out. Hey, Nick, we love you too, brother. And we'll get with you later. The time is getting right. So you mess around and you might see us in the Ohio area. Just that part. Okay. But yeah, make sure you go to the website, go to the Facebook page, like it, Tilly's Harley Davidson of Statesville. Make sure you put that on your stop when you're passing through the Carolinas. Okay. And come on in and ask for your boy Retro. We definitely want to shake your hand. As a matter of fact, what's his name? DJ FX. He was that's where I first met him. He was passing through, and they stopped off at the time. I was working at the Salisbury location, and they stopped in, and I got a chance to meet him. And there's some other brothers on here who have become really good friends of mine that we met as they came through the dealership. So make sure you put Tilly's Harley Davidson of Statesville on your list to visit. Come check us out when you're in town. Okay. It's your boy Retro with a little Retro Philosophy. And get here. I'm about to go. It's been a long day. I still got some stuff I can do tonight before I hit the bed. So keep me in your prayers as I do the same thing for you. And let's see if we can find some outro music, if you will. Again, we want to thank you guys for being with us on tonight and press play. And hopefully something was said to, that was worthwhile, so that your pressing play was not in vain. All right, let's see here. How about that? You can also catch us in the mornings. We usually hop on here, whether it's on the way to work or whatever. And we usually, a few words of inspiration. Look here, we live in a world where there's so much negativity and so much bad stuff that's happening and going on and surrounding us and trying to influence us. So when you can get a little word of encouragement, a little word of inspiration, take it, listen to it, take heed, because trust me, you're going to have some stuff that you're going to have to deal with throughout the day, that little bit of inspiration and encouragement might play handy for you. So make sure you check us every time we go live. That's why. Thank you, Brother Moose. Thank you so much for even being with us and press and play. We love you, brother. And take care of yourself, because before you know it, it's going to be time to get back on them twos. And I might just have to make another trip back up there for that moment. So you let me know, and we'll keep you in our prayers. Brother John, God bless you. God is good all the time, and all the time he's good. And so, we will be talking with you on next week, and I'm really genuinely excited about it. I'm going to give you a call later on this week to get a little information to add to the flyer. So we'll touch bases with you on that. But other than that, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have a good night. Enjoy the rest of the night with your family, whatever it is that you're doing. It's your boy Retro, and I'm out of here for real, for real.